Hey, what is up, lovelies? It is Lynn the Gacha Goblin, and welcome to Lynn's Library. Today we're going to be talking about a few books that have truly stuck with me through the years. And these are all romance novels. These are all very spicy romance novels that have very heavy triggers in them. So please advance through this video or through reading the book with a lot of caution. Make sure you read your trigger warnings. Make sure you inform yourself before diving into these, because some of these can be incredibly dark, okay? And like, this is just the tip of the iceberg, because there are darker books that I've read. But we'll continue on, okay? We'll continue on, and hopefully you guys will heed the warning. Heed the warning. First book we're going to talk about is Her Soul to Take by Harley LaRue. This is the first book of the trilogy. This is basically about demons falling in love with female humans. Some of them are witches. In this particular first book, the first female, she's like a college student. She's returning back to her hometown, and she is a YouTuber who does investigative pieces on like horror stuff, supernatural stuff. So she finds out that there's this church that has some history behind it. She goes to film there. She picks up a grimoire from here or not, and she basically kind of summons this demon. The demon's already kind of interested in her already. He's already run into her previously, but needless to say, they eventually get it on. They have a little freak out in the cemetery next to this church that she goes to. And there's a lot of upside down stuff. There's a scene with some piercing in it, which is why I'm telling you guys that check your trigger warnings 100%. There's also a scene with a gun, I think. So just be careful when you're going into this book. But I'm just gonna tell you now, the story behind this, actually very, very interesting. There's a whole history about like witches and the town itself and how hell is connected and all of these like different things. And I was definitely 100% hooked. I read book 1, read book 2. By book 3, I had forgotten what happened in book 1 and book 2, so I was like, I have to reread those. I never did. But book 1 will always be hold a special place in my heart, because this was the first book that got me, one of the first books that got me back into reading again during my very long reading slump. So this is a very interesting book if you want to try it out. Again, read the trigger warnings before you jump into this. Harley LaRue, very, very talented writer. I must say that. Okay, next book on the list. Next book on the list is, if it will load, Lingus, a romantic comedy novel by Marina Zapata. Marina Zapata is a very talented writer, and the concept of this book is so interesting. So basically, there's this girl who is pretty much, pretty inexperienced, but her friend is very much, she's very much into the triple X world, if you understand where I'm trying to go with this. And so, that friend of hers gets them tickets to a convention where all of these triple X things happen, and you can meet some triple X stars, okay? This, inexperienced female, her favorite performer is Robbie. And so she goes to this event, and she bumps into this guy who has like a hat on and a mask on and stuff, like hiding his identity clearly. but she doesn't really mind, she doesn't really pay attention to it. And then turns out that's her favorite actor, that's her favorite performer, who is with her for like, I guess, an hour or so. They're walking around the convention, they're getting to know each other, they have really good like chemistry with one another. It's really funny. The whole book itself is very entertaining to read. It's not all about, you know, the smexy times. It's really about like these two people trying to get over the fact that one is a performer, and you get both like viewpoints too. It's not only the female viewpoint, you get things from Robbie's viewpoint as well. It's really interesting if you're into like finding out more about this world. And it's just a funny book. It is a really funny book. I think at one point they end up living together at some point, of course, you know, close proximity and whatnot. And her friend, her friend also has a favorite performer who, I forgot the name of his stage name, but it's something along the lines of like caballo or donkey or horse or something like that, because his schlong is gigantic. And yeah, the friend and that guy get along really well too, so there's a side story as well. I would say read this book if you're going in for a laugh, because it is really, really funny. Okay, continuing on, we have Lights Out. This book right now is making its rounds on Booktok, and for really, really good reasons. This is such a dark book, but really funny if you like dark humor. So how do you explain this book? Basically, he's the son of a serial killer, right? He's a son of a serial killer who has already been convicted and tried and all of that. But that, of course, leaves some certain trauma onto the kid as he grows up, and he becomes somebody who, towards his loved ones, he becomes a little stalkerish, and he tries to make sure that he knows about everything that a person does and all of that shenanigans. And he, for some reason, thought that it was a good idea to start a TikTok account, a social media account, where he posts reels of himself with knives, shirtless, with a mask on, and all that stuff. And the girl falls in love with this guy that she just thinks is like this social media influencer online, but it's her favorite one that she likes to flick the bean to. And he finds out that you know, he's her favorite social media person. I'm trying to be so vague right now. I'm trying to be so vague. And he basically starts stalking her. And then he basically breaks into her house at one point, installs cameras, installs a lot of different shenanigans. And she's a trauma nurse working at a different hospital in the city, so she's seen a lot of crap, and because of that, it's kind of twisted her tastes in the bedroom, so she's kind of into it. They get along smashingly, and there is a scene with a dagger. There is also other stuff here that really threw me for a loop, okay? I was super shocked with, there was a plot twist here I was not foreseeing, and it was really, really funny. It was really crazy, but I'm telling you, the car scene was probably my favorite scene, just because the reactions from the guy were fantastic. Chef's kiss, 10 out of 10, 100%. I would recommend this if you can handle a little bit of dark humor. Okay, maybe a lot of dark humor. Okay, continuing on. This is the last recommendation that I have, and it's called Games We Play. It's the one-night series. This is a one-shot by Dana Izali. I think that's how you say her name. But this book was super good. The guy is a streamer online. He wears a mask. It's very much like corpse corpse husband coded because he has a really nice voice. He has a lot of fans because of his voice. And there is a reporter who basically signs an NDA who goes over to his house to do a piece on him, and they get involved with one another, basically. There is a scene while he is streaming that she does something, and yeah, I'm just gonna say it was a really interesting read. Really good. Two people trying to understand each other, and it's a one-night series, meaning like this guy has friends who are all pretty messed up too, and yeah, it's just good, guys. You just gotta try it. I don't want to give too much away because I went into these with like one little hint, and it got me hooked. So these are the kind of books that I read. Yeah, these are the kind of books that I read, and I read a little bit. I read like Regency books too. You're gonna learn about everything that I'm into on this channel. So if you've liked this video so far, leave a like down below, and if you've watched this far, leave a book emoji as well. But that being said, I think that's pretty much it. If you have read any of these books and you have your own opinions about them, leave it down in the comments below. If you've read these books, actually leave your rating also. I would love to know what people thought about these books in particular. I know some people are kind of like, I guess, split on their opinions about some of these books because of course some of them are pretty dark. So that being said, thank you all so much for watching. I am Lynn the Gacha Goblin, and I will see you again in a different video covering some other topic on this variety channel of mine. Alrighty, everybody. Thank you so much, and bye-bye now.